Hello, everyone. My name is John Whiteside, and I am a member of the class of fellows from 2022 and the Leads Fellowship from ADFM. I had multiple projects during my fellowship, but I'm going to talk about some lessons learned from my own experience in transitioning leadership roles. So let's say you're considering an opportunity, maybe within your organization or outside your organization. How do you evaluate that opportunity, whether for fit? Now, I assume I'm talking to a room full of experienced leaders, specifically physician leaders, and you're a little bit beyond thinking about strictly extrinsic rewards, such as putting food on the table. In other words, you're able to consider those intrinsic motivators described by Daniel Pink in Drive, specifically autonomy, mastery, and purpose. But as much as I say this, I want you to know, especially if you're my generation, you have grown up, so to speak, and you have been excelled in an environment of sticks and carrots. It is a deeply rooted bias within you to associate salary and position titles with a validation or an external reward that validates all of your work and sacrifice. So put that aside and let's think about these opportunities as an opportunity to align your own purpose, your own mission, vision, values with that of an organization and to drive success forward. So how do you do that? Well, there's plenty of resources online. You can go to the website, you can look at the mission, vision, and values. If they're a nonprofit, you can look at their community health needs assessment or their Form 990s that are available online. But there's more. There are other aspects of an organization that you need to assess for fit. Those are culture, politics, and landmines. For culture, I like to use the definition of culture as a set of predictable behaviors from a group that are based on shared assumptions. So as you ask your questions and you talk to your interviewers, listen for what those shared assumptions are. How do they define what primary care is? How do you measure productivity? How do you measure quality? For politics, I'm looking for beyond the organizational chart. How do things get done? Specifically, ask your interviewers about their own achievements and have them tell you stories about how they got that done within the organization. For landmines, remember that you're interested in knowing about past failed strategies and past failed leaders, but also successful ones that you need to honor going forward. So coming back from your interviews, you're asking the question of, is this an environment where I can excel? And you need to recognize that there's really two ways that leaders fail. The first way is that they don't understand the deliverables that they need to produce for their new leaders in the new role. And don't be surprised if they're expecting some quick wins within 90 days. But the more likely way that leaders fail is by failing to understand the transition setting or what is necessary and to adapt the appropriate style or skills for success. Michael Watkins described in actually Harvard Business Review, as well as his book, this acronym for STARS. That is, every transition is either one of these 5 situations: a startup, a turnaround, an accelerated growth, a realignment, or sustaining success. And the reason it's important is that understanding this transition setting determines your successful strategy. It determines your leadership style, your pace of change, or your political approach. So you need to understand that for startups and turnarounds, you might have a more commanding leadership style. You might demand a more rapid and aggressive pace of change. Similarly, if you're in a realignment or a sustaining success, you might have a more coach-like or navigator leadership style. You might be far more patient and systematic in your pace of change. The point is that now that you've collected all this information about the organization and you understand the transition strategy that will be necessary, you can ask yourself, can I be that guy or that gal? The better question is, would you love being that guy or that gal? Now, I want you to understand that this can seem a little daunting, possibly intimidating. This is simply a way to organize your thoughts. But you have to understand, don't freak out. You will not have all the answers to these questions as you consider the opportunity. But understand that success is not a straight path. It's very jagged. Ask any of the leaders around you about their own jagged path. It is full of mistakes, but the best lessons come from our mistakes. The lessons I'm giving you now, honestly, come from my own mistakes. So as you consider the new opportunity, especially for those of you I've gotten to know through ADFM, my classmates in the fellowship from 2022, I would say, I know you. You are an impressive bunch of people. You are not imposters. and the healthcare system in the United States needs your influence. Step up to the task and try to influence our future. Just do it. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it very much.